and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California. Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stay on this front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey, hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. Here we are again, friends, on Wednesday. Kind of hot today, but that's okay. It's July, and that's what we're gonna have. But man, I tell you, I want to say hi to everybody. We got Jody, we got Mark, we got Linda, we got Erie Republicans, we've got Lance, we got Kim, the usual folks showing up. Now, I got to put a little disclaimer out. We went to turn on X, and we have to upgrade to a pro level to bring it in restream. So of course it costs money, but it's not the money the problem, never have enough. But the problem is we figured it out like, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes before showtime that we had to upgrade. So we did not want to do that right before the show. So we are not live on X tonight. We're everywhere else except for X. We'll have that fixed by next week. We'll get the premium upgrade, blah, 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 blah. Eon, you need some more money. You got to pay for that big move from California to Texas. Come on, boys and girls. That is great news. They are leaving California. Their woke crap faster than you can sell a space building. So thumbs up. We got that. So we got a lot of folks coming in already. We appreciate that. DJ Bobby, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a while, but that's okay. We got a lot of things to talk about. Excuse me. We got Joe Bonacci coming in at 8:30. Great guy, great patriot. He makes sure that all of our Erie County veterans are taken care of. We'll go in a little bit deeper with him, but just to kind of warm you up, who's coming in at 8:30. Great guy, lovely family, and hardworking guy, and he's got a great mustache. I'm just saying, I'm jealous, but that's okay. Um, wow. We came in on Sunday. We kind of talked about the president saying, "Hey, we kind of like to pull back a little bit and, you know, come together and heal and thank you for whoever you believe in that Donald Trump is okay." Man, I tell you what a pile of crap that was. They lasted about maybe 24 hours, and boy, I tell you what, they're coming out with a vengeance. All the haters are online saying, "Oh, that's just too bad that Donald Trump didn't get killed." Wow, you people are horrible human beings that you have shredded down a human life to, "I don't like you because you're politics." Well, he's Satan. He's not Satan. I'm telling you, if he was Satan, he would have got called up the other day. And that did not. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for coming in. Chris. Oh, Chris is here. Yeah, stop throwing money. I'm not throwing money. You kidding me? I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income. But yeah, so here and then they showed these I forget where they're at. They had these LED trucks, all, the people of the green people always, making sure that we have solar powered everything and ruining our lives. So they rented all these trucks with diesel engines to run the generators, to run the LED boards, and talking about how Trump on his first day is going to be a dictator. Now, these are examples, and the only reason I'm saying is, you know, the rhetoric from the media, the rhetoric from the president calling him every name in the book, you know, Hitler. Now it's funny. If you really want to go back in history a little bit, what did Hitler do? He wanted to strip our firearms away from us, them, because they knew you couldn't have the population armed because they'll fight back. So who's actually trying to strip all our rights away? I was at a luncheon at the Seenberger, the Women's Republican. Kim was there, Dan Laughlin was there, Jake Bant, Matt was there, Micah was there. The whole gang was there. Dan handed out a pamphlet of all the Democrat legislation, anti-gun, anti-constitution pile of crap. I think there's 32 bills pending right now to strip away your gun rights. Now go back in history. Who did that again? Who was stripping the gun rights away from the Joe Q citizen? The Nazis did that. But then they point their finger at you guys are what a bunch of Nazis. How? We're trying to save our Second Amendment right. We're trying to adhere to the Constitution. You, the people, and it's so funny. Everything they accuse us of, they're doing it. Wow. There was like, well, that shooter was a Republican. So I don't give a crap what his stupid registration said. He was on TikTok. I hate Republicans and I hate Donald Trump. Well, okay. I don't know too many Republicans can say that, but there's a couple out there, and that's fine. Yeah, I know, Chris. I hear you. Sorry about that. Um, super. Right, but the problem is, yeah, he's got some hand skills, but they're not allowed to take weapons in there. No way. They went through metal detectors. So Jake said, "Yeah, I was unarmed, man, and I was in the front row." So I guess, well, Jeremy did. I have my M1 Garand oiled up and locked. If they want to come take it, it ain't gonna happen. Trust me. This is just all fodder from the I'm sorry, from the Democrat Party. They've been chipping away. They've been chipping away, and everything they try to chip away at, what happens? It gets overturned. They've been fighting with these bump stocks for years and trying to get these things taken out. And every time they ban them, what do? They take it to court and they win because this is what the Democrats are getting mad about. They're getting mad because they keep getting handed loss after loss after loss after loss. Look at what the judge did with Trump's trial about the documents that he legally owned as the president, but Sniffy Joe was a senator, had him thrown in the garage, and God forbid, with Hunter and all his friends didn't have access to these, but we can't prosecute him because he's just a frail old man. But he can run for president. Woo! No. Um, I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you, Brenda, yeah, you have a video, whatever video, just whatever you want to play up there. We're burn some time off before Joe comes here. So we got some good ones. There were some we couldn't download, but we got some good ones. So oh wow, Chris, that here, I'll put that in the main room. That's a pretty good that's a
Tried to kill Trump. They tried to kill Trump, but they only made him stronger.
Because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA. We are here tonight with one purpose, and that is to elect Donald J. Trump as the next president of the United States. He is here tonight to show his courage, his defiance against somebody who tried to kill him. You will not take this man down. He has the courage, the strength, and he will be the next president of the United States.
Must win. God bless Trump.
all right. Well, we got Tim Kuzma in the room. Tim, it says Tim for Erie. Well, he's actually in Milwaukee. He's our guy. He's our guy that's going to be casting the votes. So yeah, so that's nice. Shout out from Tim. Hello from Milwaukee. Thanks for jumping in, Tim. We appreciate that. And we're going to try to do something tomorrow night when Trump actually does accept it, which we know he will. Is do something a little live feed. We'll see what we can come up with. We'll have our tech people, which is Brendan and I and Kim. We'll try to figure it out. But thanks, Tim. You got any cool stuff? You got any? I've been following you on social media. Your pictures have been amazing of all the cool stuff you've got to see there. So yeah. And here I'll put that up there, Lance. It's Don Jr. video was classic Trump. Don't mess with the hair. Well, of course, the haters are coming out, just tripping over themselves to see how dumb they can get. They said, "Oh, look at Donald Trump's little band-aid. It looks like one of the little My Little Pillow from his buddy, the pillow guy." Really, guys? We, the, as a country, we really need to check ourselves. That we'll poke fun at each other politically here and there, left and right, but just to shred uh people apart. Oh yeah, I wish he would have died. Too bad we need to get a better shooter. We've got a bunch of haters here in Erie that been posting stuff on social media. And thanks to you, the men and women here on social media here that are actually doing what I've been asking you to do for years. Stand up. Stand up, do something, make some noise, because that's what the Democrats have been doing. They've been just making more noise than us. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop being so passive, and we need to stand up and do what we need to do. And I know the pushback. I get it. 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 You know, mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots. We're doing good. Kim and I, we've been out there. This is one that came up in the primary, just to show you they all look different. But all these are our applications to register to vote or ask for a mail-in ballot. Those were the ones that were paid by PACs. We actually are not promoting them. If you get one, don't be scared of it. It's legitimate. However, if you would truly want a Pennsylvania one, this is what it looks like. This is not just an application for a mail-in ballot. This will get you registered. It'll get you a change of address. It'll get you a change of party. Section 12 will get you a mail-in ballot if you choose one. So don't be all scared about these things. If you want to change your party affiliation, I'm telling you, that number is getting tighter and tighter every day. I mean, it's amazing because, and I'm telling you, these Democrats are so scared right now. They know that they're the honey badger shoved in the corner, and everything they've tried, they're losing. They're losing in court. They're losing the popularity. They are just nothing. They're looking like a pile of hate. And just like I was watching some of the stuff from the RNC, the live feeds. People were in there. Death to Trump. Shouldn't have missed him. Wow. Can you honestly say we're gonna go? We need to go when the Democrats have theirs. Now, I'm not wishing death on Joe Biden in any way, shape, or form, but you know what? Let's go jam up their servers. That's the tactics they want to play. They want to play dirty. You know what? It's time to take the gloves off, boys and girls. It is absolutely time to take the gloves off. They, like Rambo said, they drew first blood. See, I do these corny things, I come on here just to try to motivate you guys. You know, um, I call the shooter, how they're calling shooter a Republican. Right. Well, of course, that was the first thing they did is they checked his status. And when he was 17 years old, X amount of years ago, he registered as a Republican. Whoop-de-doo. But the video that he posted just recently said, I hate Republicans and I hate Trump. So I don't care what this is. You can change this. You can go online. You can add one of these. You can change a lot of people do flip flops in the primary to vote for or against people. It's a tactic they use. They change their party affiliation to vote against somebody or to vote somebody. There's a lot of slimy tactics, but hey, it's legitimate. It's legal. You can change your party affiliation, and that's what these are for. Is, changing party affiliation, getting registered. I've had more people come up to me and Brenda when we're down at the dock. Sunburn's feeling better too. But thank you. How many people haven't been registered? I had a friend of mine, I won't use her name. She's like, Brian, we're in our 40s. We've never voted. I'm like, what? Well, how do I get a voter registration? When you saw me at Walgreens the other day, could have stopped over. I would have given you a Kim Hunter goodie bag. It's full of these, full of all the literature that we have. We don't have any Trump stuff, but I think they're waiting to get our vice president. And we'll jump into that after Joe Bonacci because we just got a couple of minutes here before Joe jumps in here. But these are the things that I'm proud of every one of you. You've all showed restraint. You've not gone nasty. But I'm telling you, here's the weapon of this war, and this is how it's going to be won or lost: is who gets out and votes, who doesn't get out and vote. And there's no reason to get out and vote. If we pull a 22% in Erie County, we're done. Pennsylvania will not go red. It's neck and neck. It really is. Pennsylvania is the factor. We know Allegheny County. We know Philadelphia is going to go. They're going to go blue. We're going to be watching them. Hopefully, we're going to be watching them because I know the Trump folks hired people to go down there and watch them. That they're not going to get away with the bullshit they pulled last election cycle. It can't happen because I'm telling you, we will lose. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's going to come out this way. And the haters of the show are like, oh, Brian's picking on Joe Biden. Joe Biden has COVID. Gee, who would have guessed he would have got COVID in an election cycle? And then what's really the funny part, you knew who else got COVID? The vice president's husband. Interesting. Why did those two guys have COVID? Conveniently. I'm just saying. So now the first husband, no, I know. They don't even use the same names. Harris doesn't even take her husband's name. That's fine, whatever. He's got COVID. They announced that last week. Now Joe's got COVID. Isn't that just convenient during an election thing where they're going to have to put him in the basement and let Jill go around and do all the dirty work? Now he's got COVID, so he'll be sitting in the basement, and because he's so old and frail, he's really going to get it bad. He's had his 15th booster. His next presentation, he'll come out with a mask on. You know, they have tried every trick in the book. They've invented new tricks in the book, and they haven't worked. So they're going to go back to their old bag of tricks to see if they can play the COVID thing. And it's funny if you go online and you watch some of these haters. I mean, these absolute haters that wish Trump was dead from that assassination attempt. They're all wearing their masks like good little Democrats, that we've proven over and over again. CDC, which I don't like or trust or any way, shape, or form, basically said, well, the COVID, we're going to downgrade that to just a flu. But by God, you watch the Democrats bring that pile of crap out and whip that into a frenzy, and you'll be seeing people riding their bicycles down the road and driving their cars with their air conditioning on with their mask on. You want to do that? You knock yourself out, but you look ridiculous. I'm telling you, I'm not a doctor. I play one on TV. When you're driving around your car with your air conditioning on and you have a 23-cent piece of crap Chinese made fake mask, it does nothing. Ask your medical people. The dumbest video, and I know I talked about it before. I'm sorry, I don't like repeating myself, but the dumbest video I saw was people in a pool that they would come up, take their mask off, take a breath, put their mask on, and go back under the water. Yeah. So yeah, folks, I can't make this stuff up. Is it coming from a news source? No, but sometimes you don't need a news source to tell you how dumb people are. And swimming with a mask on, a paper mask, really, really ridiculous. I mean, I get that, Stacy. And that's their choice. I don't like the force mandate thing. When we were down that during the scandemic, I would go into the courthouse. I wouldn't give the deputies a hard time. They're just following their instructions. They were doing their jobs. I went around the corner, took it off. Go on YouTube and look. I'm the only one sitting there with a mask off. First of all, I can't talk. And as a chairman, ridiculous. 23-cent Chinese-made piece of crap. So yeah, didn't Biden deny multiple requests for Trump? Yeah. There's so much crap that's flying around that we will never know, because the incompetency of this DEI hire director, which she worked for Joe Biden, by the way, when he was just, I think, vice president. She was his personal agent. So he helped her work her way up. And then, of course, when he became president and DEI was more important than qualifications, she got promoted. And her goal was to bring in 30% of the Secret Service agents would be female. Hey, I've met some pretty BA women in my life, and I wouldn't want to mess with them. But I'm not poking fun at anybody, but someone needs to go back to some basic hand-eye holster coordination drills. It's just an issue of memory, remembering where that is. You shouldn't have to look at it. It should just be a natural thing. That's how we were taught in the army. It's how we were taught in the police academy. And these are supposed to be the best of the best. And I'm not poking fun at her height. I think you should be at least tall enough to kind of cover your asset. And they were too small. I'm just saying. Yep. Pepsi's a secret surfer, huh? What? What? Yes, that she worked for Google it up. She worked for Pepsi before she worked for the government. Hey, whatever, man. We got to make sure those Pepsi bottles are on tight or security in the warehouses is proper. Um, but yeah, just this thing has so many layers, so many layers. And then she's on the news complaining about the pitch of the roof. I'm not a carpenter. I don't know how to do the math, 612, 212 pitches. I don't get it. So somebody that there's something about roofing could look at those pictures and tell me what they think the pitch of those roofs were. Those agents didn't seem to have a problem. The one had a tripod. He was able to adjust. One guy was laying down prone, probably the best option. But then they were, oh, it was just a pitch of the roofs were off. Those weren't steep pitches. They were not. I mean, my house is pretty steep. I can't walk mine, but my garage I can. And my garage looked almost the pitch of those roofs those agents were at. And of course, we will never know. Can I just asking the yuppies to have cover their assets? Yeah, I get it. I know. But see, and this is where it's hard for them to lie. They're going to. With the technology, everybody's got a phone. Everybody can record stuff from every angle. And it's funny. I read a guy, I was following this thread. They were talking about this. I said, wow, kind of makes a point. Why was the person made in the house? I don't know, man. Dave, you're you and your, great wisdom, being a retired law enforcement professional, that whole thing stank. I mean, the whole thing stank. I mean, I did. And like Chris said, the parents called in and said, "Hey, we've got a problem with our son. He's walking around doing this, doing that." And he was walking around with a rangefinder. If you don't know what a rangefinder is, it's exactly that. It's a little optical machine that you point at an object. It'll tell you pretty accurately how far of a shot that is. So he was figuring out his shot distances. I don't know, Chris. Maybe I know you were really watching the AR-15. Did it have a scope on it? I haven't seen any pictures. Um, Cheat same way. Here, I'll put that in there. I'll put that in the main room. They won't be able to cheat the same way. Brenda, did you do that? Try to get that to stick in the room. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, great point. We saw what they did. We know how they did it. We proved how they did it. The courts didn't agree with it because rigged. So it's just an issue of now we have boots on the ground. We have people watching. Erie County, you better pay attention. There better be an army if somebody's down there watching it. The Democrats control the Board of Elections, and they are the ones that are going to be responsible for tossing inappropriate mail-in ballots. I'm not going to go down that foxhole very deep, but all I'm saying is now you have Andre Horton is basically the chairman. He's the one that's going to determine if that mail-in ballot gets tossed or not. If they were illegal, weren't signed or dated properly, I tossed them. The law says they're not legal. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because they're like, well, there's a date on it. Well, yeah, but it was from 20 years ago. Obviously, they got it wrong. So yeah, it's almost that magical time. Brenda, if you want to bring Joe in, that'd be great. I got 8:29. We're close enough. I mean, the first sergeant will probably get me in trouble for being a minute early. You're only if I'm a minute late.
Hello, Brian. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Lima Charlie.
Roger, over.
Thank you. Hey, man. I thank you for sharing your your time off. I know you work all day and you want to come in here and I want to chat with you because we need we need to get our veterans all the help that they're allowed to have. I know I had a couple posts when I said you were coming in there, people were having issues. And so just give us a quick story on who Joe Bonacci is and where'd you come from? Where'd you go to school? Let's build the foundation.
Okay. Well, I went to Strong Vincent High School. Through high school, and after high school, a bunch of us guys said, "Hey, let's join the Army." So there was 4 or 5 or 6 of us that joined right out of high school. So I enlisted in February of 1982, and that's a long time ago. That's back when they had
It is.
green Jeeps and Gamma Goats. But so I did 21 years in the United States Army Reserves, and after the towers were hit on 9/11, our unit got activated. Actually, we were one of the first units to get activated and to go into country. And we deployed out of Fort Bragg. And in December 3rd, I believe it was, we landed in Uzbekistan, in a place that I never even knew existed. I didn't know where Uzbekistan was or where it was, but Uzbekistan is north of Afghanistan. It was a old Russian air base. So we helped establish the Northern Logistical Base Camp. Because what they did is they built two big base camps, one north in Uzbekistan and one in Kandahar. And that's where everything was coming in to build up for the big push to the middle, which everybody knows was Bagram. So I spent some time in Bagram. I had members from my unit in Bagram. I had them in Kandahar. I had them in Mazar Sharif, otherwise known as Mez. I had them in one of the stands, because Kazakhstan.
A lot of
Um,
stands over there,
a
isn't
lot of
there?
stands, yeah. People called they were over, in Nam. We were in the stand, so um, so it was a unique experience. I spent again half my career in the artillery, and then the other half in the starting a brand new unit here in town, which was the 542nd Quartermaster Company. So I spent many, many years in the VFW, in multiple positions at the post level, district level, state level, and also the national level. I was on the National Legislative Committee. And I'm going to put a plug in for not only the VFW, but all the service organizations. When they ask you if you want to join, and a lot of people say, there's not a post close to me, or I don't like to drink, or whatever reason you don't want to join a post, just joining the organization helps. And the reason I say that is because we would go down to Washington twice a year, and we would meet with all of our representatives and senators. And when the VFW or the American Legion or the DAV came into town, legislators know that there's a lot of power behind these people. So when we talk to them, they actually listen. So, again, it's a commercial for the VSOs. If you're not a member, please think about joining, because just your number being involved into the organization helps us, me, you, uh, advocate for your benefits, your veterans' rights, and it can really go a long, long way. So that's my commercial. Hopefully, you don't charge me for that, but if I can answer any questions, again, I'm the director of Veteran Services. We do disability compensation, dependency and indemnity compensation claims, aid and attendance. So those are on the federal side. On the state side, we do the real estate tax exemption program and the Veterans Temporary Assistance Grant program. And then on the county side, all the flags and medallions you see in the cemeteries, those actually come through the county, through our office. We distribute, I think this year, about 37,000 flags this year, to put on the grave sites of the veterans. And then we also process all the death benefits through the county that comes through the funeral homes. So that's a quick elevator speech of what I do. And if anybody has any questions, or Brian, if you want to take it from there, it's all yours.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
appreciate you having me here.
I got sheets of questions for you.
Oh boy.
No, I'm kidding. That's a mail-in ballot. It's just a prop. No. So your current role is you're the Erie County Veterans. What's the official title?
Erie County Directors of Veteran Services. When I
Nice.
took over the department, I actually got the idea from another director. He actually changed the name of his department. And the reason being, a lot of people got us confused with the VA because we were the county director of Veterans Affairs, and it really confused a lot of people. And we got a lot of calls, which we took care of. We gave them the proper number to call and everything. But by changing the name and over the last year, those calls have pretty much subsided. So it separates us from the VA hospital.
Gotcha. We had a pop-up question here from Jerry David Bemis. How do I get in touch with you? I have some vet benefit questions.
You can either give me a call. Well, three ways. You could stop down. You can give me a call at my office number, which is 814-451-6270. Or if you want to send me an email, it's J Bonacci. That's J, B as in Bravo, ENACCI, Erie County, PA, and that's all one word, eriecountypa.gov.
Gotcha. Now, you talked about your location. You used to be located in the courthouse. You came to the administration, you came to council, you said, "Hey, I need some more room. Our task is getting heavier and heavier, and we can only stack benefits up so high until we have a problem." So you were in the courthouse. There were some logistical issues. A lot of veterans had a tough time getting through security. The big ramp coming up the hill. Some of them might have had some lingering issues. Uh, Brenda actually put your email link in the room so everybody can see your
Perfect.
link. Yeah, she's a great producer. So you guys decided to move down. Now, where are you located at now?
We are located in the Intermodal Transportation Center, which is right next to the Erie County Library. It's the big round building with a big green roof on it. You can't miss us.
Yeah.
And it's 207 East Bayfront Parkway.
If
And
you're
we are,
going down there, be very, very patient. They're putting the roundabouts in there.
yeah, it's going to
So
get a
be
little more
careful.
stickier. I just read that they're going to be closing State Street here come August. So it's going to be a little treacherous down there for a while. But it's not too bad on our end yet. Most of the
Right.
construction is west. So if you coming from the east, you're pretty safe. If you're coming down Holland, you're pretty safe. If you're coming from the west, it may be a little time consuming, but just be patient. You'll
Yeah.
get there.
Could you
And
repeat?
we got plenty of parking too. So come to the front parking lot. We've got 4 reserved parking spaces right there. You'll see signs that says Veteran Services Parking right outside our door. And Brian, you remember that time I sent you that picture when that customer drove right under the canopy. It was raining so hard and dropped them off basically inside the the rotunda. So
Hey, you
um,
couldn't do that at the old building. Brenda wants to know,
no.
could you repeat the number again? Because then that way she can put it in the room so people can read it. So just your work phone number, please.
814-451-6270.
Did you get that, Brenda?
I said
Yeah.
zero, right?
Yeah.
The
Gotcha.
the last four numbers you're breaking up.
Yeah. Try the last four
Okay.
again.
6270.
Got it.
There. Thank you. And then what she does is all your information. She's rolling a screen across you, and then she'll put the information in the room. So people are there. It is. She just put it up there.
Perfect.
So yeah, I mean, so you move from the courthouse down there. I got to tell this story because this story you've heard it 1,000 times. I'm sorry, it builds up who you are. Joe came to county council, and I was the chairman. He goes, Brian, we need about $24,000. We need some furniture. We need some stuff. All right, so put on the gloves. Here comes a slugfest between the Republicans and the Democrats. We passed $24,000. So Joe being the first sergeant. Now, for you civilians that don't know what a first sergeant is, the first sergeant is the highest enlisted guy in your unit that does everything. He does everything. He's in charge of the soldiers. He's in charge of logistics. You need a bucket of green paint. He'll get it to you. So he goes to get all this stuff, and he realizes that we have a warehouse of furniture that is like brand new, and he can just have it. So he saved the taxpayers a fortune. Being resourceful, being the first sergeant that he is, he'd rather repurpose and reuse than go by and waste taxpayer dollars. So that is what we like on council. So then he's like, I didn't really use the money, and I'm like, Joe, you need some new carpeting, brother. I mean, you saved us a fortune. Go spend a little bit of money and get new carpeting. Of course, he did, and the office looks amazing. Uh, Soldiers can come down and just sit down and chit chat. Correct? Board
Correct.
games, coffee, donuts.
Well, I don't know about the donuts, but we have coffee. But yeah, anybody's welcome just to stop down to say hi. Come down. If you want to sit down and read a book, we have two really nice couches and some tabletop books. I've got all the VSO magazines there, the American Legion, VFW, DAV. I have a laptop. So if a veteran doesn't have access to a laptop that needs to check their email, print off a form, it's available for veterans to use. So they're there for them.
And you have 2 staff members. I forget the new lady's name, because I haven't
I
met her.
do. We have Susan. She just came to us here at the beginning of June because Wanda uh, uh, took her well-deserved retirement.
Amazing.
And we have Carly. Carly does most of my federal. She does most of the VA disability claims, and Suzanne's coming online, and she's doing very, very well. And she does most of the state stuff. So the tax exemption programs, the Veterans Temporary Assisted Grants, retrieving and yeah, registering the DD 214s or the discharge papers in our database. So that's something that's very important. Vets out there, if you haven't registered your DD 214 with us, you may want to bring a copy down. We'll register it in our database. It will always be there as long as the courthouse is standing, because you never know if you have a flood, you just misplace it, you can't find it, you have a house fire or something. And as we all know, that is the master key for any veterans benefits is you need that DD 214. So it's a great way to keep safe that most important document that you probably have.
Now, my other question is about a DD 214. If
Mhm.
anybody in the room that isn't a veteran, it is the what you did piece of paper. Shows your date you started, your date you're discharged, if you were hurt or anything. It is one piece of paper. Now, do they need the long or short one? I know I came
It
across a hurdle one time where they asked for a long one and I didn't have
It's it's the member 4. The member 2 is the short one. It doesn't have that bottom section that
it.
shows the
Right.
discharge of it and a discharge type. The member 4 copy does. So that's going to be the important one that you want to keep, because to get any type of VA disability benefits, state benefits, and many other benefits, you have to have an honorable type discharge.
Right, and I just wanted to bring that up there because I know I personally went down this foxhole and went, "Well, this is a DD-14, but it's a short." I'm like,
Right.
"Listen, this is the one listen, I still have my original one. It's written on papaya paper, but
Yep.
I still have the original one." He's like, "Sorry, we need the long one." So it took a little bit of hassle. I got the long one, but, make sure that, you have the long one because every veteran in the room's like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't know there was a difference." So,
And
yeah.
if I can, just to add on to that, the discharge type, when we say honorable, that could be general under honorable conditions, medical under honorable conditions. As long as it's under honorable conditions, you would be eligible for VA benefits.
Right, and then another person posted, Jeremy did
Mhm.
again. Do you have a need for volunteers ever?
Uh, Not at this point down in our offices, but often that we do events, we may need some volunteers. So if he wants to send me his information, I'll keep it on record. I mean, there's other organizations that sometimes look for volunteers. So yeah, right now, no, but in the future, you never know.
Yeah, another question came out of the room. Do you guys offer information on VA home loans? As a realtor here in Erie County, that is a question I get quite often from veterans. They're not fully aware of the benefits that they can receive for that program. Is that something you handle or the VA?
Not direct, no, not we don't handle that. Often when I get questions on it, I give them one of these books. I don't know if you can see it. This is the VA federal benefits books. So there's a lot of good information, including VA loans. I can help them get their eligibility document off their VA website. I often connect them with one of my collaborators. She works for Northwest Bank, and think, and I may be wrong, but I think they're one of the only local banks that deal with VA home loans. So she is very, very familiar with the program, and she is somebody you can go down and talk to them face to face. You're not talking to somebody across the country. So that's
Right.
normally what I do.
Gotcha.
But I can guide or whatever. Yep.
Right. And I know sometimes you don't have all the answers, but you get him going in the right direction. And sometimes that's important. Or I know you've told me stories that, some guys they contact you because they're hurt and they need a stove moved. I get a call
Right.
from the first sergeant. Shank, got a mission. What do you need,
Yeah.
Todd? Those are nothing that you do officially, and we're not promoting it. However, we are veterans, and we want to make sure that our veterans are taken care of. And you're a local rock star with the Rolling for Veterans. You do a lot of work up there. And just to let you know,
Yeah.
Brenda actually has your email address across the screen. So
Alrighty.
there's Joe's official email, and of course, we can put the phone number up there too. But
It's up
shoot
there.
him
I
an
just
email.
saw it scroll through.
Yeah, just scroll through
It's
this. All
it's scrolling with his
Yep.
name and his position.
Oh, there it is. Okay, good.
Yep.
So there you go. See, I got a great producer. She sits in the she said, and she puts all this fancy stuff up there. But anything else other than that, I really appreciate your time. I know you work all day, then I got to bug you for a half an hour
Oh
at
no,
night.
I mean, my official work hours are from 8 to 4:30, but I'm always doing something. It's not a job for me. I truly enjoy what I do. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm talking to veterans every day, all night, on the weekends. It doesn't matter. If we can help one vet get something, it's a win.
And that's it. That's something people don't understand. It doesn't matter if you're a Marine, if you're Army, Air Force, it's a
No,
veteran. It
it's a
doesn't
veteran.
say, "Oh, well, Joe's like, well, this is guy's an Air Force veteran. We're not going to help him." Doesn't matter. Once you're a veteran, you're always a veteran, and he always has a place to come down and hang out. And if you just need if you're struggling, reach out to Joe or the office. He'll get you pointed in the right direction. His counseling skills might revert back to the first sergeant days, and I don't know if that's always the
Yeah,
most warm and
I,
fuzzy, but
I
but
haven't
he'll
been
get
able
you
to
in the right
make
direction.
anybody do push-ups yet, so I'm still working
Yeah,
on that one.
yeah, we can see that, but yeah, Joe, thank you. Thanks for stopping
Absolutely.
by in your evening. We appreciate it. A lot of great information, and it's nice thing is this will be recorded on 5 different formats, so people can say, "Hey, wait a minute, Shank had Joe on there." This information will be there. It's recorded, and again, we appreciate your time, and make sure you say hello to your lovely wife for us for letting borrow us for
Thank
half an
you.
hour.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thanks
thanks,
for having
Joe.
me.
All
See you
right,
later.
Shank out. There you got it. Joe Bonacci, the director of the Erie County Veterans Administration, down on the bayfront there on the Intermodal Transportation building. All this information will be scrolling. Brenda, just leave that up there. So if you need to get a hold of him or as one of his staffers, Jeremy, you had some great questions. Thank you. We appreciate that. This is the whole essence of what we do is we want to interact with our friends and our guests and shoot a question. I'm paying attention. Um, to do that. So again, reach out to Joe Bonacci down there. He's got a great staff. I know he's helped out a lot of people. I know I was going to talk about some money stuff, but the money that they help acquire for our veterans, you know what that does? That comes right back to Erie County. That comes right back to us. So if they get some benefits, well, they're probably going to be spending it here. All right, Kim, you're live.
Well, hello, Brian. Hello, Brenda.
And how are you doing this evening? It seems like we talked about 15 times today.
Busy, busy, busy. We always got busy work, don't we?
Busy work, just like Joe Bonacci, a busy guy.
Oh, I love that man. I met him when you and I and Brenda did the rally this last weekend, and it occurred to me I had already met him because when you told me about their new facility down on the bayfront, you said, Kim, you got to go check that place out. And I did. And boy, is that place beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Just gorgeous. And he was so gracious, so nice. had me come in the back, gave me a tour of everything when I was running for county council. And I told my son, when you come home the next time, you got to go down in there and register.
Yeah, get your DD 214 down there, get it registered with the county. That way they have it. It's always there. And and again, I remember when I first got on council, I went into the veterans bill office there, and it was nothing. There was nothing, no pamphlets, no literature, nothing. That gentleman retired. They brought in Joe Bonacci. He's like, "Hey, I need money for this." Okay, Joe, I got you covered. I need a little bit of money for this. Okay, buddy, we got you covered. Because I'll never say no to our veterans in need. And I don't talk politics with Joe because he likes to come in here neutral as the first sergeant, as a director. But I'm going to tell you, there's two Democrats that were on county council that fought us on every dime Joe ever asked us for. And I got no
Oh,
problem.
wait. Let me guess.
Go
One
ahead.
of them was Mary Rennie,
Yep.
and the other one was Andre Horton.
Air Force veteran, which really shocked me. And when I think I've said the story before. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. When Joe came in the office and asked for $24,000, Mary Rennie said no because that will break the budget. But then she turned around and asked for $6.5 million for diversity, equity, inclusion.
Oh,
24,000.
wait, you forgot a good one. She wanted new window coverings for the library.
Yeah, that's when she was the director. That's when she was
Yeah.
the director of the library. So yeah, hang on, I dropped something. I'm back. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I've been chomping at the bit to call in.
I know. Go ahead. Talk about
So
tomorrow night.
let's talk about something great.
Tomorrow.
Let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about Restore America.
Restore America. You're gonna.
So
It's a new word. The Facebook page is up and running. So look it up. Do a like and share. Let's get that thing up and running. It is an independent voice for the folks here in Erie County that are running for office. Considering we have
it's a new pack. It's a new pack, and I have the pleasure of announcing that Brian Shank has graciously accepted the position of our president. Harrison Dunn is the founder. I am the co-founder, and this is a great avenue. We used to be known as the Grand Old Party, and we haven't been feeling grand lately. And this is for people that are like-minded, like all of you out there listening. We want to win. We want to win our country back. We have to support every single one of our candidates, every single one. And this is a great pack and a great way for everyone to get involved who does not want drama, who wants to work together and put all of our ships in one direction. So this is why this pack was formed, so we can work together. And right now, think about it, guys. Are you mad that somebody tried to take out our president? Let's go a step further. Are you really mad at the fact, and if you thought about it, they could have taken out every single one of our candidates? Dave McCormick, Mike Kelly, Jake Banta. And if you're as mad as we are, we don't play like the Democrats and these libs do. We are smarter than them. We are going to fight back by getting people to work at the polls to make sure they cannot cheat. And on top of that, you're going to get paid $160 for the day. And we are going to fight with our mouse, with our brains, and with a pen and a mail-in ballot like Brian's been preaching for the last 3 years.
I know. I get it. Now let's talk about the really fun thing. I thought you were going to go with the other thing about tomorrow. This is cool, but tomorrow is even cooler. So go ahead.
Tomorrow night, we are going to celebrate life. We are going to all gather tomorrow night at Calamares at 6:30. Come in, have a bite, have a drink on us, and let's all join together and watch President Trump accept his nomination to be the 47th president of the United States, because we know he's going to win. And we are going to win, win, win. We are going to listen to all the great speakers. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to have a Trump basket up for auction. And let me tell you guys something. The word rhino is not allowed in the building.
Unless
because
you're
no
really a big rhino and you come in for a drink, we're gonna let you come in for
right.
a drink. Right.
And let me tell you something. Do we agree with Dan Laughlin and everything? Absolutely not. But we agree with about 85 to 90% of the things he does. And if you have a question, he will be there tomorrow night. Ask him. Go up. He will not get mad at you for asking him why he's doing what he's doing. Okay? Can he have a Trump sign in his yard? Absolutely not. If I was running, I could not either. You have to look at the diversified area he is battling right now.
Gotcha. Now there was a question in the room that popped up from Jeremy. Jeremy, you've got a lot of good questions tonight. I appreciate that, sir. That's what we like. Interaction. What is the pack called again? That was Jeremy's question. Go ahead.
Restore America,
Restore America.
because we have to restore it back to the way we want it.
Yeah.
Back to the way it was when Trump left office. We have to secure our borders. We have to get rid of these drugs. Erie has been named one of the 3 top dirtiest cities in the United States. We have the highest drug rate in murders. And I don't call them drug deaths. It's a drug murder
No,
in
it's
the
great
state
to
of
put it.
Pennsylvania.
I didn't even think about it that way, but I totally get it. And then I mean,
And we have to back our police. I have seen so much disrespect for their Erie cops. It's ridiculous. And we have to take back our schools. All DEI does is divide these kids. These kids all come into kindergarten thinking they're all exactly the same until DEI gets involved. Every parent has a right to send their child to school knowing they're going to get educated and not indoctrinated. Every parent has a right to school choice. And the Democrats want to take that away from them, just like they want to take away our gun rights
Oh, I get
and
it.
our freedom of speech.
We talked about that during the we talked about that spam risk. Oh no, we don't want to talk to spam. But yeah, so
And
come out Thursday night with 6:30 calamares. That's like what 6 in state. No, 7.
yeah, it's
8
about
to 9
look
state.
for the
I'd say.
giant Trump trailer.
I'll try to I'll bring the Trump trailer down there because I love parking it right next to the Democrats. They really love my big sign.
Right.
So yeah,
Now,
that
we've also been getting a lot of phone calls, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to tell the truth. I don't care what kind of cover up they have. A lot of people have been calling in asking what's going on with the Trump campaign in Erie, PA. Rescue
gotcha.
America is here. Trump
Yep.
campaign is going to be opening a brand new office right here in Erie, PA.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. Melanie Brewer, let me tell you guys, she is another unsung hero. Every Republican who runs for office, she will answer her phone. She helps out every single candidate, gives them good, solid advice. She is right now in the process of finding a new headquarters for it. The Trump signs are in. They just got delivered to Meadville. The yard signs, the big giant signs are in. Okay, we're trying to get our hands on them for tomorrow night. I cannot guarantee we will have them tomorrow night, but we will have index cards there. Write down your name, your phone number, address, and we will get you your yard signs. Okay, so that is some blessed great news. Okay, there will still be a Trump campaign headquarters in the ECRC, but there will be a separate one. Okay, that anyone and everyone will be welcome to work at.
Gotcha.
And we will be taking down names, numbers, and addresses of people who want to work in this separate location that the ECRC will not be in charge of. This will be a Trump true headquarters like the one we had in 2016 and the one we had in 2020.
Right. I mean, I get it. That's what we need to do. And I'm telling you, this is we got a lot of big things coming up. Um, we let's talk about my birthday,
Friday night.
No, son. What's Friday night?
Matt Strapunski's
That's
got
correct.
an event at the Colony from 5 to 7 or 5 to 9, I believe. $25 charge. Come down and support him because we want to and we have to take out Mirsky.
Got to take them out
You gotta
peacefully.
take
We're
him
not
out.
putting it. We're not going to pull a Joe Biden and say we need to put targets and stuff on people's backs, because we don't want to be encouraging violence. We're going to take him out via the pen. So
By
that's yeah.
swamping the boat.
Yeah. So yeah, stop by Friday night at the Colonies out on West 8th Street.
888. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get confused.
Yeah, the Colony, not the banquet hall on 12, the actual Colony restaurant on 8th Street.
Right.
Stop by, say hi, throw a couple of bucks in the kitty. He appreciate it. He doesn't have any pack money coming in. He doesn't have any big dollar like like Bob Mursky has, and all the packs that throw money at these candidates that like Dan Laughlin. We were just listening to Dan today. There are people from California throwing money into Wirt's kitty, and that's disgusting. Stay out. I wish Dan and his gang, after they get reelected, will write some type of law that says you can't send money from California to take out Dan Laughlin in Erie, Pennsylvania. I think that's absolutely ridiculous to do that. Yeah. There will be
I agree with you.
there will be Trump.
Let's talk about your birthday.
Nah, well, I gotta get this one out. There will be Trump T-shirts available for sale at the watch party. So tomorrow night, bring a couple extra bucks. We'll have some Trump T-shirts available.
T-shirts.
T-shirts. Birthday is Sunday, which is irrelevant. I'm 61. I'm done.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Thanks. But what we're doing is we're gonna do a flag overpass, and that will be on Station and I-90. We're gonna park at the get-go and walk over, and we're gonna take back America one flag at a time. And then
absolutely beautiful.
That's a Shank original, by the way. It's trademarked.
Yay.
Yay. So mark your calendars for August 18th. August 18th, 12 o'clock. I'll get the details out to you here pretty quick about Trump Train. We've asked about it. People have asked about it. It's been planning. We've been working on it. It takes a lot of prep work, a lot of coordination to get it done. But yeah, so man, thanks for the rundown, Kim. I appreciate that. So yeah.
Oh, and don't forget the big one, Heritage Days.
Heritage. I got too much to do with that one, but Heritage Days in Waterford. But Jake
Come out and help us get mail-ins.
Yeah, they'll be out there working, doing mail-in ballots. I got a busy
Cherry
weekend.
Festival.
Yeah, the Cherry Festival. Same way. I talked to the guy. I said,
too much
in one day. Too much fun in one day. You guys
too much fun and all this. The summer's going by too fast, man.
I know. When you get Cherry Festival, like, oh crap, it's July already. So, but yeah. So other than that,
thank you very much, Brian and Brenda, for everything you're doing.
You're good.
Let's everybody keep up the good work. We are going to take back our country. We're taking back everything, and that way y'all can vote for Brian and I when we run again.
Right. No, I get it. So yeah, thanks for the call, Kim. We appreciate it. You're like that cheerleader at the thing. But so thanks.
Not the Tyler Titus kind.
Right.
But thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Brian. I love you both so much. And we hope to see you all out at Calamari's tomorrow night. Just send a little message to Brian or me. Let me know that you're coming. Can we put you on the list? And we're going to have a fabulous time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling, Kim.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Man, busy night. With Joe Bonacci, Kim. I mean, Logan, if you're watching, go ahead and call back in. Kim was still on the line. So Logan is one of our local Republican hotshots that's really doing a good job kind of coordinating stuff out here in East County. And he wanted to call in and just have a chit chat real quick. I said, yeah, bring it on. That's what we're here for. All right, Logan, you are live.
All right. Hello, Brian.
Hey,
how you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling in. We met. I think I was running for sheriff, and I had my truck parked and trailer parked over there. He used to come over in his truck, and we would talk politics. So, and now, Logan, tell the people what your new job is here with us.
What the new job is?
Yeah.
So really, just to sum me up, I believe I was nominated for East County Chairman here in Erie County. I know that there are some things going on right now that I cannot speak about. But I really just want you guys to not think of me as a chairman per se. but as just some guy who wants to win Erie County and turn it red. That's what I want you guys to think of me about. I'm really trying to just take anyone who's willing to win and just win Erie County. I set up a group chat. It's called Erie Pay Republican Volunteers on an app called Single. What Single's about is I'm running into an issue with all these candidates like Michael Goring, Matt, Jake. Really, they pretty much make all these group chats with all these volunteers, and someone else wants to join their campaign, and instead of so they have like 14 people, they need to add a 15th. That group needs to be completely deleted. So what I'm doing is I am setting up a group chat for all of Erie County right now. So anyone who wants to volunteer, canvas, door knock, help with poll watching, help with some of the events that the Erie Republican Party has for mail-in ballots right now. That's what my group chat is for at the moment. But really, what I want it to be is just we are all Republicans, and I want to say something um, tonight. I understand that things aren't perfect right now, but we need to come together, especially with what happened on Saturday. And we just need to come together all in all, because people need to know that the Republican Party is united in Erie County. So that's really what I'm doing this summer. I've been knocking on doors when I can. Right now, I'm really busy with my job, but when I can, I'm out there and I'm door knocking. I think in I think total for this year, I've handed out 50 applications to people, and I'm trying to get as many applications into people's hands as possible. Um, I was wondering if you had any questions right now, Brian,
Well,
or if the audience had any questions.
yeah, I'm monitoring the room and making sure no one's got any questions. So, what's the best way to get a hold of you? That's the
Okay.
key is communication.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the best way? I don't know if you have an email address or a phone
Yeah.
number you want to share.
So so right now the best way is I am going to be posting this group chat into your comment section.
That's fine.
Um, that's really the best way that you can get a hold of me right now. I really do want to know people at an individual level before they get my personal number or
Sure.
before I give out my personal email.
Totally
That's just
understand.
how I operate.
No, it's
Uh,
perfectly understandable. In today's
yeah.
crazy world, I ain't arguing with you. But my cell phone, I've had it out in public. It's on the internet. Trust me, if you're a knucklehead, you get blocked. Have a nice day. But yeah, go ahead and post that in there. And I totally agree with you 100%. The key is communication. The key is we need to get out. We need to knock some doors. Like Kim and I, we've been really just hammering down on getting these mail-in ballots, getting these applications out because we can knock a million doors. Problem
Hmm.
is, if they're not registered to vote, it's zero. Any payback is zero. So yeah, we got people knocking doors. We've got people getting people registered. Kim is on a mission. I swear we're ready to break the 2,000 mark just by getting these things out. We're driving the people downtown crazy because we just keep asking for more. So so yeah, go ahead and put your stuff in the chat room there. And I don't see any questions. I'm watching both screens here, and we appreciate your call. We appreciate your
Oh yeah.
motivation. It's nice to get the young people in there. I'm 61. I got a couple more years, and I'll be on the scooter from the scooter store knocking on doors, and that gets tough. But appreciate Logan. Gets put your. I saw that you sent me a link uh, for that group. I'll when I'm done with the show, I'll hook it all up and get it running. But it takes us about 45 minutes to get all this up and running because we have to sign into different channels and blah blah whatever. But yeah, thank you, Logan. Thank you for when we you were at a meeting. You're a person that we decided that you were the youngest in the group and the most motivated, and we thought you were the right guy for the right job to represent East County, and we appreciate it.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Brian, and I hope you guys have a nice night.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk
Yep.
again, I promise.
Yep. I'm sure we will. Thank you.
All right. And again, these are things happening that I've never seen happen before. I've been playing with this for about 5 years now. I haven't seen as much coordination. I haven't seen as much teamwork. I haven't seen the push to get people registered and door knocking. I mean, this really, really, really warms my heart to see this much effort going. I don't know if this is a caller, but it keeps coming up spam. Let me see. This is Brian.
Brian, Sam Faddis.
There you are. You keep coming up as spam. So I'm like,
Well,
okay, this spam
sounds like
caller.
they're misspelling. Sounds like they're misspelling my name.
Yeah, I figured. Well, let's see. It's spam for the third time. All right, I'll give it a shot live. Hey, this is Brian, but you are live, Sam. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing very well, sir. How about you?
Good. Now, where are you now? You don't give specifics, but I know people are watching, but where are you? You're a busy guy.
I'm actually, amazingly enough, I am home. So that means
Wow.
far northeastern Pennsylvania, north of Scranton, almost New York.
Gotcha. So there's a lot of things going on that people don't want to talk about, and you're the guy that wants to talk about them. I told them, as soon as I get done with my guest and the calls, I had 2 callers, and so, what do you want to talk about, sir?
Well, I wanted to touch base with you just to address this issue with the Erie GOP, the Trump campaign, because I think it's, well, it ought to be of interest to people in your area, and just to try to be as clear as possible about what has happened, hasn't happened, and what the situation is.
Right. I agree. I woke up this morning, put my coffee on, put my bagel on, and then pull the pin, throw the grenade. My phone blew up. And go ahead. So yeah, we'll lay it out the way you see it.
Just to summarize for people, that may be just at this point unaware of this. The Trump campaign statewide, in many, many cases, is working out of space with the county GOPs.
Correct.
I mean, it is not the case everywhere, but it is certainly more common than not. That was the case in Erie until yesterday, where they were operating out of space there. By the way, they're not squatting. In the case of Erie, for instance, they had already paid the local GOP $3,000 for rent and arrangement and so forth.
Gotcha.
They have had some issues with Tom Eddy, the head of the GOP. He's been overtly hostile to them, to the Trump campaign, and yesterday ordered them to vacate the premises.
Wow.
So to be clear, ordered the Trump campaign out of GOP spaces. Didn't suggest they might have to leave, didn't say we're going to have to talk about this. Ordered them out, and ordered them out immediately. In fact, they had to pack up all their stuff, and they had to leave last night. And the local guy, who I think his name is Sam Feely, and I have a dog barking in the background. I apologize.
That's all right.
The local guy, who's Sam Feely, who is the guy who is their individual for. They basically are divided up in along congressional district lines when you get down to that level, and so the guy that's handling that district would be Sam Feely. He's functional. He's now working out of his car, literally got his papers and his materials in the car. So they've been totally evicted by the GOP. Now, just to be clear to everybody, I was advised of this information directly by the top levels of the Trump campaign, and I'm not going to get into naming the specific individuals, but I didn't get this information from a guy living under an overpass, or from a guy who heard it from a buddy who saw somebody at a diner somewhere.
You mean to tell
Trump
me
campaign,
you didn't get it off TikTok?
I didn't get it off TikTok. So the So hang on, can you hold on 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, the dog barking, the guys in the black SUVs
I'm
might
back,
be
I'm
showing
back.
up. You're fine, sir.
Hang on, give me 1 second, Brian.
Oh, you're fine.
Let me
This
get
is all
let me-
live.
Let me
Trust
get
me.
this dog. Let me get this dog a second. Be right back.
Right. Well, you got to take care of your furry friends and your furry fan. Literally, folks, when I woke up this morning, my phone was ringing off the hook. I mean, text messages. I got phone calls. I got emails. I got Sam had posted, sent this message out. It came to me like 5 different people. So I'm just like, oy vey, what in God's green earth? And if I'm not mistaken, Tom is in Milwaukee, isn't he?
Tom is in Milwaukee. So so in any event, I mean, this is the situation. There's no ambiguity about it. It wasn't, I mean, they were forcibly. Let me be careful with my choices. They were ordered to leave, and in fact had to pack their stuff and leave the space last night. And they currently have no office. And the guy running Trump's campaign in Erie is operating out of his car. And I got this directly from the campaign, from the senior levels of the campaign. And then I have since talked to God knows how many people, as you probably have,
Oh yeah.
throughout the day who have independently confirmed that, yes, all of this is exactly right. And I mean, to the point where at one point I asked somebody to physically go down and just confirm that the Trump campaign was no longer in this space, to remove any and all ambiguity, because I'm not interested in passing along rumors.
No.
So there's no question about any of this. The initial response, interestingly, this morning was I started having people contacting me saying that Eddie's response to this was that it was a complete lie, a complete fabrication. I had manufactured the story whole cloth. That obviously didn't last very long because we could start by walking down to the GOP space and seeing that the Trump campaign is no longer there, or talk directly to them and they'll tell you they were thrown out.
Yeah.
So
eyes on target.
Now the smoke that's being pumped into the room is, yes, there was some sort of disagreement and misunderstanding, but he didn't really mean they had to leave right away, or some other kind of nonsense to try to half step this back.
It almost sounds like Joe Biden's speak.
Yeah, it is. It's standard political garbage, if you will. It's just, man, you did something that was completely unacceptable. It just boggles the mind that at this point in time, that you would be throwing the Trump campaign out of Republican spaces. So stand up and take responsibility and tell us some truth, and don't first claim that the whole thing was a lie and now start trying to cobble together some really weak thing about, yeah, something happened, but it's not such a big deal. I mean, the Trump campaign guys did not pack up all of their gear and physically leave offices in the middle of the night without some pretty clear direction that this is what is being mandated. They were ordered out. That's all there is to it. So anyway, my point of calling into you was just to make this crystal clear. This information, in addition to all the additional sources that have by this point confirmed it, the original point of origin for the whole thing was directly from the top levels of the Pennsylvania Trump campaign. They're the ones who contacted me as I was sitting around having my morning coffee to tell me what had just happened.
Which I mean, I got the text. I saw that your name was on it. And I'm like, well, I'm not thinking he's going to come off half cocked and will just come out with some bullshit that he saw on, some thread somewhere. And so I got a million calls. Nancy called. Everybody called her. What are we gonna do? What do we do? I said, well, first of all, we got to verify this stuff. Got to make sure it's true. And then Nancy said that you wanted to call in the show. I said, yeah, he can call in a little bit later because get Mr. Popular, right? is we're starting to get some following. We're getting some cool guests on. But I knew you bringing on here and coming on here and putting your cards on the table. I know you vetted this information. I know it's not TikTok. I know it's not some bullshit thread. We know you're a guy that's been, vetting information your whole career, and you're not going to come out here and put your name and your reputation on some information that's not true. So, and I
Yeah, well, I
appreciate you.
appreciate you saying that, because that's exactly, as you well know, that is exactly the way I approach every story or every thing. It's like, if look, I'll be as hard hitting as anybody, maybe more hard hitting than most, but first I'm going to make sure I know what the facts are and I'm standing on solid ground.
Oh, I
If
totally
I'm going
agree.
to say something, if I'm going to say something, I'm prepared to stand behind it. And if I don't feel like I have that substance, then fine, I will keep my mouth shut until such time as we can confirm things. I mean, that, as you said, was my profession for a long time, telling Washington what is happening, what isn't happening, what we know, what we don't know at any point in time, just brass tacks. And
Yeah,
this is just, I mean, the mind-boggling thing about this story to me is just that, you've got the man who is the Republican nominee, almost certainly the next president of the United States. And after Butler, in the minds of most people, and I'm not trying to be sacrilegious,
no,
walks on water,
someone
and
was watching.
a GOP chair is going to throw his people out on the street, literally, while the convention is in
Right.
progress.
I
Like,
know.
that when you say it, you're almost like,
It's mind blowing.
yeah, it is mind blowing. Like, it's like, is there some sort of hallucinogenic substance involved here? This is,
Well,
what could you possibly be thinking to tell the Trump campaign to get the hell out?
and what is the Trump campaign saying? They say, and this has been verified 1,000 different directions, and we know by the stats, we know by past elections, that Erie County is prime location for determining which way Pennsylvania goes. We can't.
Dead on.
Yeah,
Dead on.
we cannot
There goes
control
Erie,
Philadelphia.
there goes
Yep,
Pennsylvania.
right. We can't
Right.
control
So right
Philadelphia.
now,
Right.
So right now, this is what we need. We need some guy to, I don't know, just decide that he's a dictator. I have no idea. I mean, apparently from the Trump campaign, they've had difficulty with him since the beginning. He's never been particularly excited about having them in his space. And then just yesterday was sort of like, that's it. I'm done with you guys.
I haven't talked to Tom. Tom and I have had parted our ways because of these reasons that you're just laying it out. I'm not even saying a word. You're actually saying what I want to say, and we haven't had a conversation today. I called you, but I know you didn't. You never did call, but I know you're a busy guy. But these are his. This is his mo. He's a little dictator that runs around, stomps his feet, and he doesn't get his way. He has a tantrum. You threw out the Trump campaign. If you know what, if I was the Dawn and they got up that fight, I would have one of my surrogates come down here with a checkbook and say, "Give me a building. You guys want a location? I'll just buy the damn building and have a nice day." This petty
Well, and
bullshit.
as I'm sure you are aware, the immediate reaction in the Patriot movement, MAGA world, whatever you want to call it, up in your neck of the woods, was for like 6 different people to raise their hands and say, "I'll give them space."
I wouldn't
So
doubt it.
while you got this guy telling them to take a hike, you got people that are willing to just essentially hand them space, saying, "I'd be more than happy to provide space and give you even more room and get, because we got to win this fight." Anyway, I just wanted to call in. I got to run because I'm going to have to jump on another call.
You're a busy guy.
But
Thank you for clarifying that. I was asked not to put anything on social media about it, and I didn't, because I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. I wanted to hear it factual. I wanted to hear where you got this information, because trust me, I'll be probably getting about 15 phone calls tomorrow. But thank you for your time, sir. Be safe. We
that's why I
appreciate.
wanted to call in. I wanted everybody to be
Yes.
crystal clear, man. I
Yeah.
don't say things that I can't stand behind.
I get that.
Anyway,
I get that. Thank you for clearing that up. And you are a friend of the show. You can call in anytime, my friend.
take care. Have a good evening.
All right, check out. Well, there you got it, boys and girls, right from the horse's mouth. It kept coming up spam. I'm like, why is someone calling me this late? It's spam. And I'm like, well, maybe that's Sam spam. So I hit it and it was him. But yeah. So a lot of questions, a lot of stuff going around, crazy times, crazy whirlwinds of everything going around. I didn't post this up. I shared it among some friends privately. It's like, what is going on? If you don't know who Sam Faddis is, please Google him up. And he doesn't come off half cocked. He doesn't come off with disinformation. He doesn't get his sources from CNN or TikTok. I mean, this guy has the connections to verify it from the Trump campaign. So there you go. Other than that, I think we'll move on. Brenda, we got some videos to play of all the crazy things going on after the failed assassination attempt of our next president. And I got to tell you, I love our vice president. I think Vance is a great guy. I think we'll talk about that. We got some videos coming up. So Brenda, just pick a video, whatever you want to do. The red t-shirt guy, whatever.
From Los
You're in
Angeles
charge.
Times, when your friends turn against you. So California Congressman Adam Schiff has now asked Biden to leave. He's going to kiss up to him, though. Here's the quote: has been one of the most consequential presidents in our nation's history. His lifetime of service as senator, vice president, and now as president has made our country better. And here's the quote, but, and you know, if it came before the word but, he probably didn't mean it. That's how our language works. But our nation is at a crossroads. A second Trump presidency will undermine, blah, 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 blah. The choice to withdraw from the campaign is President Biden's alone, but Schiff believes it's time for Biden to pass the torch.
Wow. I saw that video. And of course, people go, that's from Fox. It's going to be fake. I call bullshit. You know, this is part of a plan. I'm telling you, I've been telling you, and I've been telling you. This is nothing that's just freewheeling happening. They are right on the money. And now Schiff a couple of days ago says Biden needs to bow out. Shifty Schiff that should be in jail for his Russia bullshit. But he didn't go to jail because the Democrats are in charge. But, you know, blah, 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 blah. So now the hot shot from California says, Joe, you got to go. And Joe catches COVID. Am I a conspiracy guy? I'm not like a Democrat that wishes ill on other human beings. And I'm being sincere. The hate that's flowing around in the internet and people are getting tired of it. They're pushing back. And you know what? These companies that hire these wackadoodles, they're firing them because you do not promote the death of other people. I might not like you, but I'm not going to wish you dead. It's just like with Sniffy Joe. I hope he recovers. I really do. Because you know what? I want to see him to get the beat down that he has earned for the last 4 years and his negative bullshit about calling us, you know, fascist and Nazis and did deplorables, you know. No, we're not. We're Americans that are standing up trying to preserve our Constitution while these wackadoodle Democrats shred everything about it. Take down our statues. Tell us what vehicles we need to drive. No. Say no. That's simple. I'm not wishing ill on anybody. I'm just going to vote you out. I'm going to pick up my pen. I'm going to go down to my voting place. I'm going to fill out my my ballot, and I'm going to go hit the road until 8:00. That's what we need to do. What other kind of cool videos you got we can have fun with?
You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing.
Have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Well, I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I have not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about to be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all the, actually, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol.
Right. This party talking points have been nothing but hate. And then with Trump winning everything, winning his court cases, not going to jail, he's still a felon. Okay. What has he been charged with? We've talked about that 1,000 times. Hasn't been charged with anything. They pushed back his sentencing because they're going, son of a gun, we have a problem. And now some crazy kid, we can go at him 5 different foxholes. Some crazy kid, for whatever reason, decided to listen to the president of the United States and make it a target. No, we're talking about focus. We're going to focus. We're going to focus on this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You can't fix crazy. This kid obviously had some issues. We will probably never know the difference. So yeah, a lot of moving parts. The investigation is going on, and the roof is too steep. That's why there was a FBI agent up there with a hose hosing it off. Baloney. If they were true the marksmen that they're supposed to be, they can take a shot anywhere. That's what they train for. So the director of Secret Service, she needs fired. Another diversity, equity, inclusion hiree that went down the toilet. Agents, the one female agent, cowered behind one of the other agents. She should be fired. Brenda, do you have the video of the guy that he works for Newsmax as a former Secret
They
Service
told you
agent?
that MAGA Republicans were the worst people on the
That one
planet.
will be next.
Then, to lend
Thanks.
credibility, they used fancy phrases like existential threat to democracy to describe Americans who voted for Donald Trump. So imagine how surprised your friends and family were when they learned that the late Corey Competore was a beautiful man, a fireman who loved Jesus Christ, died protecting his family. If you live in a liberal vacuum where they told you that Trump voters goose-step to rallies, you'd be stunned to learn that most of MAGA is exactly like Corey Competore. In fact, if you open your mind, you can learn a lot. Democrats love January 6th. The Capitol riot was a golden gift given to those hell-bent on burying Donald Trump. But ask yourself, why wouldn't the people who love AR-15s not bring any guns with them if they were trying to overthrow the United States government? An unarmed insurrection? Please. If you wanted to take on the most powerful government on the planet, you wouldn't have a Minnesota Vikings superfan as your ringleader. On Saturday, someone tried to kill Donald Trump, the same man that they lovingly compared to Adolf Hitler. Then, in a bizarre turn of events, Barack Obama wished Trump a speedy recovery. I doubt that anyone in the Western Hemisphere in 1943 would have wished Adolf Hitler a speedy recovery. There are lies, damned lies, and then there's everything that they told you.
There it is. This guy's a
Day
guy.
one, I have lost a job. I have lost friends, divided my family because of they and them. I'm not talking about pronouns. I'm talking about their hatred, not mine, not Trump supporters' hatred, theirs. They normalize this. A member of the Supreme Court associates presidential immunity with Biden's ability to assassinate Donald Trump. Then all of a sudden now they, Joe Biden in particular, thinks we need to bring down the temperature. Well, where was that sentiment when he tweeted all this? Lose everything. Trump's the greatest threat. Threat. Everything's bad. Everything's terrifying. Everything's horrible. And if you don't dethrone Donald Trump, it's going to be bad. Words have consequences. And a father, now a firefighter, a Trump supporter, is dead because of it. And we almost lost the one man who can actually pull us out of the disaster that they created. We didn't riot or burn down cities, but we rallied to win this election unlike ever before. They are just saying it's time to bring down the temperature because they realized they went too far. They realized because of our silence, they realized that even with their 20 million illegals that they imported that they now want to vote, they realize that they are going to lose this election to a degree never seen before. But this is not even close to over. And if the Secret Service doesn't get their act together, another incident like this could be likely. Their failure must be addressed right now. The immediate site failure. Yes, I'm throwing shade on the Secret Service, and I can. Because I've done this work in a war zone, and I know the failures. I have done presidential maritime security under Bush as well. I know what I'm talking about. One, the police officer who initially confronted this shooter backed off when the shooter pointed his gun at the officer. That officer should be charged because he failed. When you are on protection duty, you are considered an expendable resource. I have been that. That officer should have tried to neutralize that threat, even at the expense of his own life. Two, the sniper should not have had to call or radio anyone for permission. Don't give a guy a gun and put him on a rooftop, especially when he's got him in his crosshairs, and not give him the authority to pull the trigger when he's aiming a gun at the future president of the United States. Seconds count. Clearly. We have neutered our sheepdogs to second-guess themselves and almost cost the future president of the United States his life. Three, get the DEI stuff the hell out of here. This is from the Secret Service website. The United States Secret Service is dedicated to maintaining an environment that is free from all forms of discrimination, harassment, or retaliation for engaging in protected... Shut up. Delete this page immediately. This is now the head of the Secret Service. This is her priorities.
To expand hiring, they're aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030.
We need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women.
Why? This, in part, is the result of
Look at that
policy.
coward.
There's a term called get big, folks. Okay, it is human nature during a threat, if you're being shot at, to scrunch down, get small, and protect yourself. It's as part of any protection detail or any advanced training, you undergo a significant amount of training to break that genetic response. And in my experience, women, in large parts, again, personal experience, have a significantly harder time of breaking that instinct. And this is the result. This is the result. And I'm going to talk about this with a guy that I went to war with in just a few minutes. Every man on that stage is getting big to cover the protectee. She's crouched down. She should be fired immediately. And why was that woman, that overweight woman, on the front lines of protection is beyond me. Here is my standard. Can you single-handedly pick up the protectee and carry him to safety should you need to? Yes, Donald Trump is a big guy. Find bigger security guys to protect him. That's the standard.
Find bigger ones.
There is zero reason this woman or the other woman that is a foot shorter than him, there is no reason they should have been on the front line of protection. There just isn't. And if you're offended by this, I don't care. I care about keeping Trump alive. This is not a social experiment, and it just got real. I don't care if you feel good about it. This is about making sure your protectee can feel anything at all. And now the same people that glossed right over the pipe bombs outside the DNC headquarters, the same people who investigated the Las Vegas shooting that found out nothing, the same agency that raided Mar-a-Lago, that hung out Mike Flynn and countless other patriots, is the ones now investigating this because of a memorandum of understanding? Right. I'm sure they're going to get right to the bottom of this one. The FBI employee, by the way, cheering on the assassination of Donald Trump. What? And you want me to trust them for this investigation? Oh, and now Congress is also investigating Kim Cheadle, the head of Secret Service director, who we now find out was handpicked by Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, because she liked her. Wow.
Wow.
I got to give Trump a lot of credit, though. Trump wants to rally the nation in support. Man, he is a better man than me. I have absolutely no interest in unifying. I want the Trump agenda to bulldoze their ideology, their hatred, their nonsense, and their non-real problems and render it extinct. And that's what this next 4 months is about for me. And if you're a Democrat, I'm painting you with the same brush you have tried to paint with me for the last, 9 years. Trump supporters are overwhelmingly good people. You no longer get to call us terrible things anymore. And if by your standard, if Trump was inviting a riot for saying peacefully and patriotically on January 6th, then they, Democrats, supporters, and their ilk, they're responsible for what just happened this weekend. That goes both ways.
I know that one was a little long, but I wanted you guys to see this guy. This guy wore a uniform, did that job, and you can tell he's a big guy. You can tell he's a big guy. And again, I'm not picking on the women and being, you're just being mean to women. No, I'm not. They're just physically different sometimes. But other than that, I mean, we had some other videos, but I mean, man, time flies.
I have just one more that I want to play.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Brian, are you still doing the show?
Yeah, we're still on. So you're live.
Hey, okay, I'm live. Hey, I want to mention something to you guys real quick. I just want to say that I was down there when everything was happening, and the security was really low that day. There was no like spotters on the rooftop. I could see the building where the shooter was from, but I didn't see the shooter because there was a little maple tree in the way, so I couldn't see the shooter. Pretty much by the time the shooter was getting up on the rooftop, I was leaving the rally, and I was about 50 feet from the entrance when the shooter started to shoot. And I've been trying to cope with things for the last couple of days,
Sure.
and I'm going to be a little bit personal here for you guys. But when the shooter started shooting, people were uncertain, but the shooter got off, I think, 4, maybe 5 more shots after that. And during those 4 to 5 shots, there were thousands of women and children. They looked back at the entrance, and all I saw was 1,000 faces of terror that day. And that's something that I've been trying to cope with. This isn't my first traumatic experience as a person in my life, but this is going to probably be in one like one of my top most traumatic experiences. And it's just the simple fact that I've seen women and children in terror, and I couldn't really do nothing about it other than try to calm down the crowd. Um, when everyone was trying to rush out the entrance, I was one of the only few people who just was trying to calm down the crowd. And I'm glad that Donald Trump was able to get up and pump his fist, because I think that helped calm the crowd down even more. I would like to say that Secret Service needs to be investigated on this, because what happened that day was complete BS. I still feel safe going to Trump rallies myself. In the back of my head, I will still always be remembering: is there possibly going to be a shooter when there's low security? Um, I'm just letting you guys know that this was uncalled for, and really we need to just come together and give Trump this win, and we need to get this win for Corey's family, because this was uncalled for. And I guess that's what I have to say about it. If Brian, if you have any questions, I'm more than willing to answer.
I have a
Best can.
statement. I want to say thank you for sharing. Brenda,
Yeah.
my wife, and I were supposed to be there with the big Trump trailer, and
Yeah.
we had obligated another event, and we our word is our bond, so we would have been there. I'm not bragging. We had
Yeah.
we had tickets up front, because just what we do to help the Republican Party. That's their way of saying thank you.
Mhm.
And I was supposed to be the guy that did the Pledge of Allegiance, I was told, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. But I feel you, I understand you, and coming on here and putting your heart and soul out for total strangers,
Mhm.
that's an honest, healthy step to say,
Mhm.
yes, this happened. We were with our friends. We were at a little rally here in Erie about another issue. He had
Mhm.
his 2 little granddaughters with him.
Mhm.
Go on my social
Mhm.
media. They're the 2 little blondes sitting there on the Trump trailer. They were
Mhm.
there. And when the shots rang out, the older sister fell on top of her little sister.
Yeah. Yeah,
So these stories of human survival and being scared, you're allowed to be scared, and that's exactly what they want. That's how terror
there
works.
there was a lot of brave people in that crowd for jumping on their family members, and you know, I can't tell you how many mothers I've seen like saw snatch up their kids just to get them away from danger.
Totally agree.
There there was a lot of bravery that day and a lot of panic. And you know, there was this guy, the first time I heard that Trump was shot was actually some guy running from the
Sure.
from the crowd. He's like, they got Trump, get the bleep out of here, they got Trump. And I personally thought Trump was gone in that moment. um it it was not a fun event.
No. Well,
When I was leaving that event, my emotions were so mixed. And
sure. Oh,
my
absolutely. And that,
yeah.
and that's what the party of tolerance, as I throw up and insert sarcasm, have
Yeah.
been doing is nothing but
Oh yeah.
terror, calling us names, calling us
I
dehumanizing us, and calling us, Gestapo and Hitler. It's bullshit.
it's
It's
and
psychological warfare. That's all they're
and
doing
I've
to
t-
us.
yeah, and I've talked to a lot of people who voted for Trump. They have, excuse me, black family members because they adopt. They 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 have immigrant workers and they like their immigrant workers. They have homosexual friends. Like, a lot of MAGA supporters are very open, and we don't get the opportunity to tell people how we actually are, because what I've seen ever since like 2016, I simply came out for supporting Trump in 2016, and I lost half my Facebook friends overnight just because I
Yep.
supported Trump. And I just lost a friend before excuse me, before the event. And you know, I made a sacrifice for that friend at the time in my life, and now they're no longer friends with me, all because I support Trump, because they have a certain worldview and they're not willing to listen to another side of everything. Like, I understand where they're coming from, but them befriending everybody and not talking, and even I've noticed that the Trump side does this from time to time too. It's just this defriending and this defameling thing. It's cracking our our culture apart. And again, back to the rhetoric. You have people not talking to the other side, and then you get like the news media. I believe this shooter simply went on like, my thoughts is this shooter went unhinged because of the distancing we've had with each other
Totally
in
agree.
the last 10 years.
I've lost I lost my my best friend of we met each other at 5 years old, but his crazy Karen wife is a Democrat and just as nasty. And I tell you what, I've literally had friends, Facebook friends, not deep friends, go online
Yeah.
and talk about they wish Trump would have been killed. You're gone. You're out of here. Because you know what? We can disagree all day long. We can talk about it all day long. But
Yeah.
but to wish death on another human
Uh,
being is disgusting. You all should be ashamed of yourself. You all should go find something to focus on and reflect on what your life is really about. But I do got to cut this off because I only got a
Okay.
couple minutes
No,
left.
you're
But
good.
thank
You're good.
you. We
Yep.
appreciate that. And if you need to chit chat, we'll go grab a coffee or something, my friend. Thanks for sharing.
No, you're good. Yep.
Thanks, buddy. Brenda.
Tonight in Pennsylvania, retired Chief Corey Comparatori's fire gear hangs in his locker at the Buffalo Township Fire Department.
He was a family-loving, God-fearing man.
Witnesses say the 50-year-old veteran firefighter died trying to shield his family from gunfire at the Trump rally. Second Lieutenant Greg Cirancione.
What's it like when you look over and you see his gear hanging here today?
Heartbreaking. Almost don't even understand it, how it could happen.
Comparatori was married to his high school sweetheart Helen. The couple had 2 daughters. After the shots rang out, rally attendee Jim Sweetland, an emergency room doctor, tried to save Comparatori.
I looked up to see his family, who would witness my efforts at resuscitation, and the look on their faces said it all.
2 other gunshot victims are in stable condition, 57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Copenhaver. Back at the firehouse, Comparatori's firefighter brothers are paying tribute with flags flying at half staff.
He was a man that was full of love. There's too much hate going on right now. And we don't need to make this about hate at all. It's just hug your family, keep them close. That's what he would do.
As the fire department and community mourns Comparatori, his wife paid tribute in a private Facebook post, saying her husband died the hero he always was. He would have it no other way. Nora?
Oh my goodness, Meg Oliver, thank you so much for that story.
That was a great story. Great man. I've been asked Sunday at Heritage Day to speak on his behalf. Being a member of a volunteer fire department, first responder for a long time, and a guy that actually cares. I have to sit down and write some words on how I feel about what happened to this guy. I wish I would have had the pleasure of knowing him, and I never met him. But the stories that are coming out about him, this is going to be tough. It'll probably be one of the hardest ones I've ever done. And to the subhuman piles of crap out there that wrote on the internet stating with his death, well, geez, that's just one less vote for Trump. You human piles of crap to talk about a man, a hero. I wish I knew how to figure out how many lives this man has saved as a volunteer. He wasn't paid. These guys aren't paid. And he's saved in his life to have some animals only kill for certain reasons. They do. This isn't one. And he died saving his family, unfortunately. Saved his family. We lost him. And on that fine note, I think we're going to go ahead and bring this thing in for a landing. We've covered a lot of things. We've had a lot of good conversations. We've got some breaking news right from Trump campaign about the shenanigans in Pennsylvania and Erie County at a time where we should be unifying each other. We should be helping each other. We shouldn't be ripping each other's apart, because guess what? The Democrats get to sit back and laugh their asses off. So what do we have to do? Kim was like, oh, all this work we've done, we've lost it. No, we haven't. That work is still there. We've got plenty of time. I got piles of pens. I've got piles of mail-in ballots. I still have tires left on my trailer. Trump's looking pretty rough. I think I might have to have him get another ad for him. He's all faded out. But as long as I have gas in my tank, I've got a pop in my cup holder. I've got some mail-in ballots. Kim made nice little bags with pens and everything in it. I want to thank you guys. This is tough. This is tough for everybody. We've known people. I talked to Jake Banta today at the women's luncheon. He was in the front row with Kelly. He goes, I said, did you feel helpless without a weapon? He goes, yes. Because I'm always used to carrying a weapon. And now we have a shooter and I don't have a weapon. I understand. But he did what Jake Banta did. He stood there, calmed people down, got them moving, and that's why I'm proud to call him friend, because that's the kind of guy he is. He went right into reaction mode, started helping people, getting people calmed down, getting people to the exits, and God only knows how many lives he saved, because it's tough when people get into a panic mode. They'll trample you. They'll run you right over. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how tough you are. And it's always the little people. So I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you for sharing your Wednesday night. It's almost 10 o'clock. 2 hours, man. I want to thank Brenda for keeping the show together and running it nice and tight, and keeping the videos straight. We have a ton of videos, but we try to keep it around 2 hours. It's my bedtime. So Brenda, you want to play the outro video whenever you're ready? I want to thank everybody for coming out, and let's let's be humble. Let's think about the people that we had in our lives that are not in our lives anymore. And it really sucks that it has to come down to politics about two guys that we've really never met that we're ready to go to war over. And my war is real simple, really, really simple. I'm not going to get my M1 Garand out. I'm just going to get a mail-in ballot. I'm going to get a pen out. I'm going to fill my tank up. I'm going to grab a pop and I'm going to hit the road. And I'll and take Kim's little goodie bags and get them to the people and get people motivated to get out and vote. We can't do 22%, boys and girls. It doesn't fly. Brenda, play it if you got it. Oh, very nice.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA! From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Be safe out there. Watch your six. If you are licensed to carry a firearm, I would highly suggest you do that. If you're not, think about getting that taken care of. Take some training and stay alert, stay alive. Good night, everybody.